should look like this. It's our second page of notes with more examples. Okay, this one says, use the results in the table to complete the double bar graph. So first thing I want to do is label and finish making my bar graph so that I can actually draw my bars. Okay, the title is Plant Growth. I have all my different plants on the left, so which ones am I missing?
Tomato pea.
Tomato on top, and then a pea on the bottom. Okay, and then what do you think is going to go along the bottom of my bar graph?
The numbers.
The numbers. We always start at 0. Right here, this first line is 0. So my first line, now let's look at the highest. Let's find the highest number that I have. 1 and 3/4. So I probably want to try to get all the way to like 2 maybe.
So 1/4.
So maybe count by fourths, okay? I like that. So let's do a fourth, and then a half, 3/4, and 1. Then I have 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2. And will I be able to plot all of my information with that as my scale? Okay, yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have Class A that I'm comparing to Class B. So let's go ahead and draw all of my Class A data. So I'm just focusing in this column for each of the plants. Okay, so purple is Class A. How far up am I going to shade for, or how far over? It's actually going to go sideways because my plants are here. So I'm going to be drawing a graph out this way. 1/4 for a tomato. Okay, so I'm going to go here for my tomato to represent Class A. What about Class A's pepper? Go over to a half. What about a bean? Yep, 1 3/4.
Do we have to use different colors on this one too?
You're probably going to want to shade and then not shade one.
One big bird.
And then a pea?
1.
Only 1. Okay, so there's all of my Class A data. Now I'm going to move on to Class B. So how far over do I go for a tomato for Class B?
1/2.
1/2. A pepper? 3/4. A bean?
1.5.
Yep, 1 1/2.
1 and 1 here.
And then a pea?
Just 1 and 1.
Yeah.
My graph. Bro, you gotta stop.
Okay, so now that I've got my graph completed, I can answer the following questions about the graph. How many inches taller did the bean plant in Class A grow than in Class B? So I'm going to look at bean plant, and this is Class A. So how much more did Class A grow than Class B? 1/4 of a what? 1/4 inches. Or 1/4 of an inch. Overall, which class plants seem to grow taller? Which ones seem to grow taller? Be confident. Yeah, B. It is B. Y'all be confident. Yeah. B. Why?
Because A is less consistent in its numbers.
But overall, look at each of, look at my yellow section. It goes further, right? It grew more here, it grew more here, and it grew more here. So 3 of the 4 plants were taller in Class B. Okay. Last one. I already have my graph, so I'm just answering questions about the graph. Let's look at the graph for a minute and determine what it is showing us. It's talking about favorite sports. I have all of my sports down here, and I've got the number of students who voted for that favorite sport. Green is 4th grade students. Purple is 5th grade students. So how many 5th grade students, guys, we got to keep going. How many 5th grade guys, the side conversations, really? Please. How many 5th grade students chose basketball? How many chose basketball?
27.
It's pretty much right in the middle, right? So 26. It should be 26. It's right in the middle, right between 24 and 26. I mean 28, which is 26. Okay, number 8, how many 4th grade, now we're looking at green, how many 4th grade students chose swimming?
6.
It's 6. It's right between 4 and 8, which is 6. About how many times, number 9, how many more 4th grade students chose basketball than baseball? So find 4th grade, it's the first one, the first bar.
27 minus
Chose basketball than baseball. So first, how many students chose basketball in 4th grade? 20. Okay. Now it says how many more, so I know I'm subtracting. Now let's look at baseball. How many? Guys, side conversations.
12.
So how many more?
8.
8. Okay. About how many times as many? Times as many.
Oh,
That's multiplication. About how many times as many 5th grade, so we're looking at the second bar, chose basketball than track and field. So how many 5th graders chose basketball?
6.
Basketball. Here.
26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay, so 26 divided by, and how many chose track and field?
12. Oh, wait, 8. It's got to be 5.
We're comparing 5th grade.
12. Wait.
12. Okay, now it says about. So about, if I'm doing this easily, 26 is close to 24. So 24 divided by 12 would be about 2 times. And then the last one, are there more 4th or 5th grade students represented in this graph? Explain.
5th grade.
5th, because,
There's bigger numbers for a lot longer
5th grade.
yeah, because there are 70, I'm just going to give you exact numbers, because there are 74 4th grade students and 76 5th grade. Okay, and that's going to be all we do today. Today we get to kind of wrap up our last thing that we are learning in this chapter 12 unit. We're looking at double bar graphs. So we're very familiar with just regular bar graphs, but a double bar graph has 2 pieces of information for maybe one category. So we're going to use the results in the table to complete the double bar graph. So this is already completely done for us. We've got all of my information in the table here. It's comparing math quiz scores. So I can see for Julia, I have quiz 1 and quiz 2. Quiz 1, which color do you think is represented by quiz 1? Purple or yellow?
Purple.
The purple, because look down here, it's a 25. And then for the yellow, it's over here at kind of between 35 and 40. So it's at 38, so it's out of 40. It's not out of 100. So we're looking at, Julia, 2 different colors representing 2 different quizzes. Does everybody understand how that's working? Okay. So John's is represented by a dark blue and a light blue, and Zach's is the same way. So it says which student showed the most improvement. So going from the first quiz to the second quiz, who has the most space? Yeah, John does. Because John had only scored 17 out of 40 on the first one, but the second one, he had 35. Okay. All right. moving on. Number 1, we're going to do this one together. So we are actually going to complete the double bar graph. Okay, so our table says monthly rainfall in inches. I have my months, May, June, and July, and I'm comparing city A to city B. So what I want to do is I want to take my city A. I'm going to use purple. Do you see my key over here on the edge?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a purple compared to a yellow. So I'm going to be using purple. If you want to do like shading darker versus lighter, or maybe just shading versus not shading, you can do that since you're using pencil. Okay, so for May, I'm going to compare city A, and I'm going to plot 3. But what am I missing? I'm missing something.
Lines in between.
I'm missing the in-between numbers. So I have to first finish my table or my graph. I've got a label, so I need to look at all of my values and figure out what would be a smart scale is what we call it, like what you count by. What would be a smart scale to count by on that y-axis part of my bar graph?
3 at the top.
And what are we going to count by?
Uh,
I want to start at 0.
oh,
5.
you go.
Well, if I did 5, 10, 15, 20, I need to get to only 3.
25.
We count by 0.5.
25.
0.5, so halves, okay? That would probably work. So let's do 0.5, then 1, then 1.5, and 2, 2.5, and 3, and then 3.5. And I could put point zeros after each of my whole numbers if you want to do that. Okay, what do you think? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I just erased something. I think it was this 0 right here. What do you think is missing right here?
4.
No,
The
rain.
name.
The name, the title. So I'm going to write monthly rainfall up here. And is there any other information that I am missing?
You have to put it in inches so they know what the numbers mean.
So it's already labeled for me. It says rainfall in inches here. So I know that these are representing inches, but is there anything else that I'm missing in my graph?
Oh, you have to
July,
add
yes. Okay, now can I plot my graphs? Yes, I can. Okay, so I'm going to use purple for city A to represent May. So I'm going to go all the way up to 30 for May. I mean 3.0. I meant 3. Okay, for city B, for the month of May, how high up do I shade?
2.5.
2.5. Notice how I have like 2 separate bars. They're represented with different colors for a reason, so that I can compare the 2 different cities for the month of May. Okay, in June, what is my purple bar going to go up to for city A? 2.5, good. So 2.5 here. And then for city B, my yellow bar will go to 2.25. Where is that going to go? I don't have that listed.
Like in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle.
3.
About right here. Between 2 and 2.5. Okay, then I have July. Bless you. For July, I'm going to go up to 2.75. Where does that go? It's not listed.
2.75 above 2.5 and 3.
Good. It's right in between 2.5 and 3. And then last but not least, my yellow bar representing city B for the month of July is going to go where?
2.9.
Which is going to be just underneath 3. Okay. So using this information now,
Wow.
I can answer questions about the graph. It says, which city had the most rain in May? Just by looking at my graph, I can tell which city, A or B.
A.
Yeah, city A. And which city had the greatest increase in rain between June and July? The greatest increase. So this is between June and July. So I'm looking at the purple. I'm comparing the purple from here to here or from here to here. So no, it says which city. B. Okay, guys, city A is purple. Okay, so I'm comparing this purple to this purple. Did it increase more than the yellow city B did, or did city B increase more than the purple did? City B. Good. So city B had the bigger increase. Okay, going on to the next part.